Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is my second video. The previous was on coordination chemistry. In this video I will solve some previous year questions on NMR spectroscopy, that is nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy. Now before going to solve previous year questions, let us see some chemical shift value for proton NMR which will be useful for structure determination. First of all, I want to say that for nuclei for which I spin quantum number is not equal to 0 are NMR active nuclei. For hydrogen nucleus, I is equal to half for hydrogen nuclei. Now these are given some chemical shift value for proton NMR. When the hydrogen atom is attached to sp3 carbon atom, that hydrogen atom will appear in the proton NMR spectrum within the 0.5 to 2 ppm value. The chemical shift value are given in ppm unit, parts per million. When the hydrogen atom attached to sp3 carbon atom and that sp3 carbon atom is attached to a heteroatom like oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine, bromine, etc., that proton will come within the range 2 to 5 ppm. Hydrogen atom attached to sp hybridized carbon atom like acetylenic proton, or hydrogen atom attached to sp3 carbon atom which is conjugated with a electron withdrawing group, or benzylic protons will appear within the range 2 to 3 ppm. For olefinic proton or aromatic protons, it will appear within the range 5 to 8 ppm. 8 to 10 ppm chemical shift value are assigned for aldehydic proton, and for acidic or carboxylic protons, this proton will come within 10 to 12 ppm value, that is very downfield. Now let's start questions. This was asked in December 2016. In the question it was given that 1H NMR spectrum of a mixture of benzene and acetonitrile shows two singlets peak of equal integration. We have to calculate the molar ratio of benzene and acetonitrile for which the mixture shows two singlets of equal integration. Now from the structure of benzene we can see that all the 6 protons are equivalent, and this will give a singlet peak for which integration corresponds to 6 hydrogen atoms. On the other hand, acetonitrile will give a singlet peak whose integration corresponding to 3 hydrogen atoms, since these 3 protons are equivalent. Now in the questions it was given that there arises two singlet peaks of equal integration. If we have to give the spectrum of two singlet peaks of equal integration, we can say that for one benzene molecule the mixture should contain two acetonitrile molecules, because one benzene molecule will give a singlet peak corresponding to 6 hydrogen atoms, and two acetonitrile molecule will also give a singlet peak corresponding to 2 into 3 hydrogen, that means 6 hydrogen atom. That means we can say that one benzene molecule and two acetonitrile molecules in a mixture will show two singlet peaks of equal integration. That means the molar ratio of benzene and acetonitrile in the mixture is equal to 1:2. It's alright. That means the option C is the correct one. Similarly, these questions came in June 2015. This is similar to the previous one. In the question it was given that the 1H NMR spectrum of a dilute solution of a mixture of acetone and dichloromethane in CdCl3 exhibits two singlet peaks of 1:1 intensity. We have to calculate the molar ratio of acetone to dichloromethane in the solution. Similarly, from the structure of acetone we can see that all the 6 protons are equivalent, and this will give a singlet peak corresponding to 6 hydrogen atom. And dichloromethane, these two protons are equivalent, and this will give a singlet peak corresponding to 2 hydrogen atom. Here in the question it was given that the mixture will give 2 singlets peak of equal intensity. Now we know that intensity in proton NMR is proportional to proton integration. Higher the intensity of the peak, higher is the proton integration. Similarly, from the previous experience, we can say that one acetone molecule is equivalent to 3 dichloromethane molecule. Since one acetone molecule will give a singlet peak corresponding to 6 hydrogen atom, and 3 dichloromethane molecule will also give a singlet peak corresponding to 3 into 2H, that means 6 hydrogen atom. That is, to give a 1:1 intensity ratio to singlet peaks, the mixture should contain 1 mole acetone is to 3 mole dichloromethane. That means molar ratio of acetone and dichloromethane is equal to 1:3. That is, the option number B is the correct answer. The next question is 1H NMR spectrum of an organic compound recorded on a 500 MHz spectrometer. That means the operating frequency of the NMR instrument is 500 MHz. Showed a quartet with line positions at this 4 value. We have to calculate the chemical shift value and the coupling constant for this quartet. Now, from the nature of a quartet peak, we know that the integration ratio for the 4 peaks corresponds to 1:3:3:1, and the separation between 2 successive lines are same, which can be confirmed from this line spacing value. Here the separation between 2 successive lines are same, corresponding to 6 Hz. Now from the formula of chemical shift, we can calculate the chemical shift value for this quartet peak by averaging this 4 value. Now this will come in Hz unit, but in the options, or we know that chemical shift value is shown in ppm units. Thus, if we divide this averaging of this 4 value by the operating frequency, we can get the chemical shift value in ppm unit. Here is the calculation. Take a screenshot of this. Now we have to calculate the coupling constant value for this quartet peak. Now from the principle of coupling constant, if the value of the lines for this quartet peak are given in Hz, then we can calculate the coupling constant by subtracting any 2 successive peaks. If the values are given in ppm unit, then we have to subtract between 2 peaks and multiply it with the operating frequency to get the coupling constant value in unit of Hz. Now, since the value of the line is given in Hz unit, so if we subtract the value between 2 successive lines, we can get the coupling constant. That means the coupling constant value should be the separation between any 2 successive lines. Let us take these 2 lines. The unit will be Hz. So the coupling constant value is 6 Hz. Thus, chemical shift value is 3.5 ppm and coupling constant value is 6 Hz. So the option number A is correct. The next question is the number of signals present in the proton decoupled 13C NMR spectrum of the following compound. This is the given compound. We have to calculate the number of lines in the 13C spectrum of this molecule. Now, since this is proton decoupled 13C spectrum, number of signals is equal to number of chemically equivalent carbon atoms. Now we have to calculate how many chemically equivalent carbon atoms are present within the molecule. To calculate such number, we have to see that how many sigma plane is present within this molecule. We can easily see that there is a sigma plane which passes like this and bisects the above portion from the below one, and the above portion is a mirror image of the below one, and according to this sigma plane we can say that the above portion is equivalent to the below portion. That means these 6 carbon atoms is equivalent to these 6 carbon atoms, and this carbon is equivalent to this carbon, and this one is equivalent to this one. That means for this sigma plane there is 8 equivalent carbon atoms. Now, since the phenyl ring are not planar, since these are given a solid one, that means this side is somewhat towards U. It is tilted above the plane and it is towards U. Similarly, for this phenyl ring also, this portion is somewhat tilted towards U. Now, for this nature, we can think another sigma plane which passes through this C, F, I and L carbon atom. That means a sigma plane containing these 4 carbon atom, and for this sigma plane we can see that B is equivalent to E, H is equivalent to K, and we previously know for this sigma plane that B is equivalent to H. That means B is equivalent to H, and from this H is equivalent to B and K is equivalent to E. From this plane K is equivalent to E. That is B is equivalent to E, B is equivalent to H, H is equivalent to K and K is equivalent to E. That means these 4 carbon atoms all are equivalent, and these 4 carbon atoms will give a single peak. We can write B is equal to E is equal to H is equal to K, and for these 4 carbon atoms there will be one line. Similarly, for this sigma plane, this D carbon will be equivalent to A and this J carbon will be equivalent to G, and comparing for this sigma plane, since J is equivalent to D and G is equivalent to A, we can say that these 4 carbon atoms are equivalent. So D is equal to A is equal to J is equal to G. That 4 carbon atom will be chemically equivalent and they will give one line. And for this sigma plane, this O carbon will be equivalent to N carbon. carbon O is equal to carbon N. It is written like this. It will consider later. Similarly, there will be another plane containing E, B and K, H. The plane will passes containing E, B and K, H carbon atoms, and for this sigma plane, carbon number C and F will be equivalent, and I and L will be equivalent, and in addition we can say that C, F, I and L, all 4 carbon are equivalent. So C is equivalent to F, is equivalent to I, is equivalent to I, and these 4 carbon atoms will give one line. Similarly, for this plane, the P carbon will be equivalent to M carbon. I am writing here Cp is equivalent to Cm. Previously, for this sigma plane, we have seen that this carbon is equivalent to this and this carbon is equivalent to this, and for this 2 sigma plane we can say that this O carbon is equivalent to N carbon, and for this sigma plane P carbon is equivalent to M carbon. So in addition we can say that C O carbon is equal to N carbon is equal to M carbon is equal to P carbon. These 4 carbon atoms are equivalent and they will give one line. Thus in summation we can say that this given compound will show 4 lines. So the option number A is the correct answer. The next question is, the 1H NMR spectrum of meriternal, the 2 methyl groups are expected to display signals at which chemical shift value? The structure of meriternal is like this. This is a isopenoid lipid molecule and its structure is like this. We can draw it like this also. Here this CH3, this methyl group is exo to the ring and this one is endo. Since the chemical environment of these 2 methyl group is not similar, since one is exo and another is endo, its chemical and magnetic environment is not similar. So both the methyl are chemically and magnetically non-equivalent. Since at the first I have told or given some 1H NMR chemical shift value, from where we observed that proton hydrogen atom attached to sp3 carbon atoms appears in proton NMR within 0 to 2 ppm value. Since this condition is satisfied here, this proton is attached to a sp3 carbon atom. That means these 2 methyl group will correspond to within this ppm value region. And these 2 methyl are non-equivalent, so chemical shift value will be different for these 2 methyl. And from the option we can say that the option number B is the correct answer. And here this CH3 proton, all these 3 protons are equivalent and it is attached to that carbon. There is no proton, so this methyl group will appear as a singlet and this will also appear as a singlet. So for both the methyl group there will be singlet peak. The next question was asked in December 2016. It was asked that the number of lines in the 19F NMR spectrum of this compound at minus 120 degrees centigrade, assuming it a mixture of static conformation given below. That is, from the question we can see that a mixture is kept at minus 120 degrees centigrade temperature, that is very low temperature, and it contains this compound in 3 conformation like this and this one. We have to calculate the number of lines in the F19 NMR. That means in easy way we can say that we have to calculate the number of non-equivalent fluorine atom, and it will correspond to number of lines. Since the temperature is very low, it is sure that there is no rotation along the CC bond. So these 3 structure is locked in this orientation. Now we have to identify that how many numbers of different fluorine atoms is present within this 3 structure. From the structure 1 we can see that both these 2 fluorine atoms are equivalent. Since that we can also say that there is a sigma plane passing through bromine carbon, backside carbon, and this bromine, it will bisect the molecule and this fluorine atom will be similar. Now for this sigma plane we can say that this fluorine and this fluorine are enantiomer to each other. Since enantiomer are chemically equivalent, these fluorine atoms are chemically equivalent. So for these 2 fluorine atoms there will be 1 line. Now in this structure we can see that there is no such type of sigma plane that will bisect the molecule into 2 equal halves, and this fluorine atom will be different in chemical environment to this one. On the other way we can think that think about the chemical environment of this fluorine atom, like there is 2 chlorine atom at gauge towards this fluorine atom, but for this fluorine atom at one side there is a bromine and another side there is a chlorine. So these 2 fluorine atoms are chemically non-equivalent, and for these 2 fluorine atoms there will be 2 lines. Similarly these 2 fluorine atoms will also not chemically equivalent, since for this fluorine atom there is bromine and that side chlorine, but for this fluorine atom both side is chlorine. So this fluorine atom is also not equivalent and they will give 2 lines. So as a total there will be 5 lines. So the option number 4 is the correct answer. The next question is the 1H NMR spectrum of this complex ruthenium eta4C8H8CO3 at 23 degrees centigrade consists of a sharp single lines, and the number of signals observed at low temperature minus 140 degrees centigrade in its spectrum is equivalent to how many lines? Now the structure of C8H8 is like this. Now if we draw the structure of this complex, since it is eta4 complex, there will be coordination of 4 carbon atom of C8H8 ligand with the metal center, and there is 3 CO group. That if we count the number of electrons, we can see that this will be 18 electrons. Since ruthenium contains 8 electron, for 3 carbonyl group there is 6 electron, 8 plus 6, and for eta 4 mode binding there will be 4 electron, so 18 electron. Now at 23 degrees centigrade, that means at room temperature, this ruthenium center coordinate with this 4 carbon atom. At the next time we can see that this ruthenium center combines with this 4 carbon atoms. Similarly, at the next time it will equilibrate to the other 4 carbon atoms, and that means we can observe that the ruthenium atom is attached to the 8 carbon atoms equivalently. That means there is a equilibrium of coordination with this ruthenium center and this 8 carbon atom, and for this reason all the 8 proton atom, all the 8 protons will behave as a chemically equivalent proton, and the peak will arise for this 8 chemically equivalent proton as a sharp singlet peak. It will be singlet, and the integration corresponding to the peak is 8 hydrogen atom. Now at low temperature, the fluxional behavior of this compound is vanished, and at very low temperature the metal center at a time will combine with only this 4 carbon atom, and it cannot equilibrate between the different carbon atoms. So this will show various number of peaks. You can see if the ruthenium atom combines through this 4 carbon atom, this 4 carbon atom will remain free, and we can, if we imagine, then we will observe that these 2 proton will be equivalent, this 2 1 is equivalent, this 2 1 is equivalent, and this 2 1 is equivalent. That means there is 4 different equivalent CH proton. For this reason there will arise 4 signals. That means at low temperature this compound will give 4 signal. So the option number C is the correct answer. Now the last question depends on the Larmor frequency of a NMR active nuclei. This was asked in December 2015. This question is very important because this type of question was asked in successive years in CSIR NET or GATE. The question is, the 1H NMR frequency at 1.0 Tesla is 42.4 MHz. If the gyromagnetic ratios of 1H and 13C are like this in Tesla inverse, second inverse respectively, what will be the 13C frequency at 1.0 Tesla? Now to solve this question, we have to remember or remind this formula. It is a very important formula. The question comes mainly depending on this formula, so we have to remember this one. Frequency for any nucleus is equal to gamma divided by 2 pi into B0, where gamma is the gyromagnetic ratio of the nucleus, which unit is Tesla inverse, second inverse. B0 is the applied magnetic field in Tesla. So here 3 values are given. That means nu for hydrogen, gamma value for hydrogen and carbon. we have to calculate the new value for carbon. So if we apply this formula to calculate the value of frequency for the 13C nucleus, we can see that the value comes 10.6 megahertz. You can take a screenshot of this page to see if the calculation is right or not. So the answer is the 13C frequency is 10.6 megahertz. We have to careful about the units, since here frequency of the hydrogen nucleus is given in megahertz. The frequency of the 13C nucleus will come in megahertz unit, since the unit of the gravimetric ratio of 13C and hydrogen will cancel out, and it will remain only the unit of nu of hydrogen nucleus. So the option number A is the correct answer. So that's all for this. If you like my video, then share it and subscribe to my channel to stay tuned. In the next video, I will solve some previous year questions on IR spectroscopy. Thank you.